What's going on, comic fans? It is Mike from the Hardcover Comic here. Today I wanted to talk about six books in my collection that I've got, sets of books rather, that well, it's kind of showing off a little bit. These are really beautiful, gorgeous volumes published by various publishers that I highly recommend people check out if they enjoy the stories. If you're looking for the best possible format to enjoy one of these specific stories in, I can't recommend these enough. These are just beautiful books to have on your shelf that seriously look um, leagues above what other books look like. I mean, that's all I can really say. Beautiful, stunning volumes. So, without further ado, let's dive into it. The first book is, of course, the Hellboy set from Dark Horse. I mean, wow, some of the most breathtaking books. This is the seven library editions. Um, Collecting, volumes 1 through 6 collect all the Hellboy stuff that Mike Mignola did, and volume 7 is the complete Hellboy in Hell storyline. These are breathtaking volumes. I remember when I first got volume 1 of the library edition for Hellboy, it changed the game for me. I mean, I didn't know books could be that damn beautiful. It's got sort of a felt, velvety material on the front and back. It's got a nice image embossed on the front of each volume. The spines are gorgeous with nice gold font, nice little golden skull as well, all very consistent across the board through all 7 volumes. Not only that, but the paper quality and the coloring, the blacks and the darkness and the richness and the saturation of the colors is absolutely beautiful. I mean, the way it's been printed, the way it's been collected in these volumes is an amazing standard to follow. I mean, the oversized pages, library edition, so these are absolute size pages. Mike Mignola's artwork looks breathtaking. I mean, the best possible quality I think that his artwork could be, and his artwork is fantastic. So I'm so glad we get to enjoy Hellboy in this format with this quality, and the books look absolutely classy on the shelf. I love them so much. They definitely draw people's attention whenever they see my collection, and rightfully so. Beautiful volumes from Dark Horse. I believe that they all get reprinted. They're evergreen volumes, so you can pick up, the entire set if you want to. It's a pretty penny, but totally worth it if you're a fan of Hellboy or you've been looking to get into it and really want to know how to enjoy it to the max. This next one is a little big book. It is the Bone all-in-one leather-bound edition, signed and numbered by Jeff Smith. Bone is a huge, epic, sweeping tale about these Bone characters that come from Boneville, and all the trouble that they get into along the way. This is a stunning volume. I mean, the outside looks, the way it's been bound is absolutely amazing. It's got, the pages have this the gold trim on the edges, really nice and classy for a little story like Bone. It's wonderful. The only problem I have with this book, while the binding is fantastic and it's great that they could fit this entire story in one volume, is the paper is super thin. It's got that sort of Bible quality paper is what I call it. Very thin. You can see through it. That's my only complaint. Otherwise, it's such a beautiful little book. Again, it really stands out on the shelf. And if you're going to get Bone, I do think I would like the colored version myself personally. But this is a nice, classy little way to collect it that takes a little a story that's for young adults and adults as well, and classes it up just enough to stand out on the shelf. Another awesome, fantastic, phenomenal book and story is Meta Barons by Alejandro Jodorowsky and Juan Jimenez. Absolutely beautiful volume. This is the slipcase edition that Humanoids released this last year. That was also a limited printing. I think there were about 2,000 of these bad boys printed. Fairly expensive book. You get 2 volumes in here. You get a nice slipcase that closes and opens, which is a nice, unique little touch to it, with beautiful design work and artwork by Jimenez. Absolutely beautiful book. It's very oversized, extra oversized, absolute size, so you get to enjoy that artwork and the beautiful colors. The paper is a nice sort of a matte finish, sort of newsprint, not glossy, so you get to really see the colors as they originally were. Very beautiful. It's the absolute best way to enjoy the storyline. You get these nice gold ribbon bookmarks. The binding is fantastic, and the build quality on the books is absolutely beautiful. They're going to last you forever, and you got a nice slipcase to keep them absolutely pristine once you're done reading them. Of course, Meta Barons is a story that is completely for adults, so if you're looking to get someone a nice fancy book that's younger, please avoid this one. But if you're looking to enjoy one of the most epic sci-fi space opera stories ever, in my opinion, Meta Barons If you can still pick up the slipcase edition, be sure to do so. Last I checked, it was still available on Amazon. So pick it up while you can. Absolutely breathtaking volumes. And second to last is the epic Sandman collection. I don't have every volume. There are a total of 7 volumes, including Death. So 6 volumes of Sandman, and then the 7th volume being Death, all in this faux leather-bound Absolute Edition. I mean, it is the ultimate experience for anyone looking to enjoy one of the best comic books ever created. Oh, again, it's one of those volumes. You get the first volume, and you are just absolutely blown away by what a publisher can do when they really want to put some love and care into collecting a storyline in a nice volume. And I mean, from the spine's got creases and dents in it. The beautiful font that's used, of course, the images on the front of the volumes with the amazing embossing. There's so much effort and care that went into it. They're so beautiful. The reading experience itself is amazing. The book stays open from the second you open it. You don't need to hold anything down. You don't need to prop anything up. You get little to no gutter loss, especially in a story like Sandman Overture with J.H. Williams III artwork. It's absolutely amazing. And in that story in particular, they included the 4-page spreads that just work beautifully in an absolute volume. All of them with ribbon bookmarks, all of them with fantastic binding and solid build qualities. If you're ever gonna read Sandman, I can't recommend the Absolute Edition of the story enough. I can't speak for the storyline for Death itself, but Sandman, absolutely. If you can afford to pick up the Absolutes, which are also evergreen, I think Volume 1 is in like its 19th printing or something crazy like that. So these will pretty much always be available, and I highly recommend getting them. Really, again, I've been using the word classy because this is what it's all about. These are all classy collected editions, and Sandman is absolutely no exception. Speaking of absolutes, the Preacher 3-volume Absolute Edition set was kind of a surprise to me when it also was a faux leather bound series with an incredible set of spines. I mean, my God, the design on the spines is beautiful. Of course, with the slipcase itself, you get amazing Glenn Fabry covers, which I forgot to mention, the amazing Dave McKean covers for the Sandman Absolutes. But either way, the Glenn Fabry covers are beautiful. Underneath that, you get a nice Preacher emboss on the front in gold, and of course the spine all in gold as well. I mean, what an amazing set of books. I go personally slipcase spine out. Matt goes leather bound spine out when he puts these books on his shelf. What do you guys do? Do you put the slipcase out? Do you put the spine of the actual book out? Let us know down in the comments below. It's a little competition and debate we've got going back and forth with the hardcover comic team. But I love these books so much. Again, Steve Dillon's artwork is not necessarily super detailed and maybe doesn't require the Absolute Edition, but damn, did DC put a lot of effort into these, and they look beautiful. Of course, ribbon bookmark, amazing binding, fantastic build quality. These are going to last for a long time. Minimal to no gutter loss. The book stays open at all times. It's wonderful. Really, really well done. It makes me wonder why DC can't do things like this for all of their books, but it is what it is. The Preacher set for sure, though. If you know anyone who's a fan of the show that you want to get the comics for at one point, and you can afford to get them these volumes, I highly recommend it. They're going to last a long time, and they're very, very highly enjoyable. The last book is a monster. I mean, it's a monster that still, I haven't had any of the Colossal Conan books, so Big Damn Sin City is still by far the largest book I've ever owned and held in my hands. I mean, it's a library edition size, absolute size book that is insanely thick and heavy it's just such a massive book. It could be used as a weapon, but it reads like the most perfectly put together book ever. I mean, the build quality is incredible. I've had my copy for years at this point, and it's got little to no threat to the binding at all. I mean, it seems like it's almost, it was bound yesterday. It's really, really well put together. Sin City, of course, is a black and white story in terms of the artwork, and so what's really cool about this volume is just how dark the dark colors are, and it's so well printed. The paper is nice, thick, very high quality paper. The book stays open, surprisingly enough. Again, little to no gutter loss at all. You get a beautiful ribbon bookmark, which is always fantastic, and you get the entire story all in one massive volume. Frank Miller's artwork is probably some of the best artwork he's done in Sin City, and this is by far the most amazing reading experience for Sin City fans or fans of comic books in general. It's definitely a unique volume that'll sit on your shelf. It definitely catches people's eyes being as massive as it is. And like I said, if you have an intruder in the household and you don't have any other weapons nearby, Big Damn Sin City can definitely be used as a blunt weapon. I don't enforce that. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Um, but yeah, those are the books that, in my opinion, on my shelf are the most significant, beautiful, and that goes for, in terms of the story, how it's put together, the quality of the bind itself, the quality, the integrity of the bind, ribbon, bookmarks, all that fun stuff, unique designs as well. What are some of the books that you guys own that you think are the most beautiful volumes on your shelf, that draw the most attention, that class up the collection just enough? Let me know down in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We post content regularly, comic book reviews, overviews. We do live streams. We do top 10s, top 5s, all sorts of fun little videos, trying to come up with new ideas every week. And I hope you guys are all staying safe and sound. Honestly, it's been a crazy year for all of us. I know everyone's been saying it over and over again, but I guess it's not a terrible thing to say. Stay safe, stay sound out there. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Let us know down in the comments down below what you thought of the books. Do you think they're nice books? Did I choose books that necessarily you don't agree with? Let me know what your thoughts are, and we'll be sure to reply. Thank you all very much for tuning in. This is Mike from the Hardcover Comic. You stay classy, internet.